Discovering God's voice in everyday occurrences. Have you ever experienced a moment when you felt a sudden clarity, a deep sense of peace, like God was speaking directly to you in the middle of your busy day? And out of nowhere, the birds' songs became the most peaceful thing I had ever heard. I felt God's guidance in that moment, so clear and comforting. It was an ordinary moment that turned extraordinary. We often think God's voice must come in dramatic, life-altering moments. But what if it's in the everyday occurrences? The sounds of nature, a conversation with a friend, a quiet moment of reflection. Scenes of people interacting with loved ones, walking through nature, reading or sitting in prayer. God speaks to us in ways we often overlook, through nature, relationships, and daily events. All these moments are opportunities to hear God's voice. For example, that warm hug from a friend, the simple beauty of a sunset, or even the quiet peace during your morning coffee. These are signs that God is near, guiding us in ways we may not expect. God's voice can be heard when we stop and truly pay attention to the world around us. The rustling leaves, a sudden burst of laughter from children, or a smile from a stranger, each can be God's subtle nudge. These moments are full of meaning if we learn to recognize them. By being aware and attuned to these small things, we open ourselves to hear God's whispers in the ordinary moments. Sometimes God speaks through our intuition, that still, small voice within us. You've probably had that gut feeling to call someone or take a different route, and later realized it was God guiding you. Intuition is often the way God gently guides us, leading us to the right choices, the right people, and the right moments. Trust those instincts. They could very well be divine whispers. So how can we become more attuned to God's voice in our lives? It starts with practices like journaling, prayer, and meditation. These practices help us quiet our minds, create space for reflection, and listen for God's voice amidst the noise of everyday life. By carving out time for these moments of reflection, we can better hear the subtle ways God is speaking to us and open ourselves to His guidance. God is always present, always speaking, even in the most ordinary moments of life. Sometimes we just need to be still to listen and to trust that the messages are all around us. Embrace the journey of discovering God in the simple things. Remember, the next time you feel a nudge or experience a moment of peace, take a breath and ask yourself, could this be God speaking to me? Trust that God's voice is always here, guiding you towards love, peace, and clarity. Open your heart to hearing God's voice in every moment. Comment below and share a moment when you felt God's presence in the ordinary. Let's inspire each other to find divine guidance in every part of our day, discovering God's voice in every moment.